Yeah. What are we doing now?
So you got Perennials over there, Angie?
Yes.
Okay, let me get the
Perennials, okay.
So Don
Hold that up. There's a primula right there.
Yep.
That's a primula.
Yep. Yeah.
I would
Here.
Oh.
There's your Perennials.
It's primrose.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Old-fashioned primrose.
Yep. Okay, now these guys here, these we're going to do in a much smaller pot because these things won't take nearly as long. They're a smaller growing plant.
I see that the cells in the flat are not near as deep.
They're not nearly as big. No, in fact, these guys here, you know, if you take a look, actually got little pop-outs in the bottom. They actually did these up. These were like little cuttings that they did, and they put them in almost like a peat pot type thing, for the most part. And we're going to literally just be able to take a 6-inch pot.
So these did not start from tubers. These were actually cuttings.
These were cuttings, or they might have actually even started them from seed. Take a pot, make a nice little hole in the middle for them, fill up around it, and they're done. You know, and these ones here, they're a smaller plant. That, you know, it'll be big enough that in about a month and a half from now, these will fill up and fill out over the top of the pot. And once they start blooming, they sell like hotcakes. They won't be staying here very long.
Well, if you were going to start these from cuttings, explain how you would do that.
Okay, basically, if you had some growing, the best time to do is actually a little bit later in the season, in the fall, before they start going into dormancy. And you could actually take some cuttings off. You would, you know, very small cuttings. I mean, we're talking like a 1 to 2 inch slip from the plant.
Where do you cut that off of the plant?
Basically, it's a somewhat difficult with the primrose. That's why we don't do it here. I don't know if on here, probably actually the best. Yeah, if you can zoom in here, if you look now, this is basically one plant, but it's coming up actually 2 different main stems right now.
Okay, we can see both stems.
Literally, the easiest way to do this would be in the fall before it gets dormant. Would be, you know, instead of doing it from cuttings, it was actually take this up and dig and divide. You actually dig it up, separate carefully those 2 different plants because they're on different rootstock, and then replant them and then cover them over for the winter. Mulch them in good so the roots can continue to grow out, and you know, this way in the spring they'll come up and they'll be much healthier plants because now they've got more room to grow.
So Don, you gonna get your hands dirty eventually?
No.
I figured you could help. I think we need a tripod.
This is my great contribution to helping the common people provide for themselves during hard economic times.
So far we're just having fun.
And yes, people will always have something that they are willing to trade. People will always have something they are willing to barter to get things that they want and to get rid of the excess of the things they don't need.
Oh yeah, well if you look back and you go back to say, you know, well the olden days when the barter system was all there really was for the most part, especially up here in the country.
Now granted, in short term, the most valuable plants are going to be those which actually can be consumed.
Produce food, yes.
Or to make medicine.
See, I'll have to get some of my books out on some of the uses.
Well, I think once we get them...
Oh, I have uses for a Russian sage.
Finish. Elaborate.
So long as she has red hair and freckles, I have uses for her. She doesn't even have to be a sage. She just needs to be Russian. Come to think of it, I could probably do without the red hair and freckles.
He needs to go out. He hasn't come out of his shell yet, Joe. Right? Yeah. Yeah. John wants to, sit home, not go out, do happy things.
Isn't it live for today because there isn't going to be a tomorrow?
Live by the Boy Scout motto, be prepared.
Yes, we are. All right. So, we have successfully planted up 2 cases of perennials.
Yeah, we're not going to bore everyone with watching us plant up every single thing. We'll kind of go over some stuff after we have things planted up. You know, it'll be a little bit more interesting. Another week or so, we'll start doing both fruit trees and berry bushes. That'll be in soon. So blueberries, grapes, raspberries, all sorts of fun stuff.
Outstanding. My favorite.
I can't wait.
Neither can I. All right.